Hi Mike, we've just had what we're calling the brains of the operation here, and now we're looking to look at the beauty, but we've got a concept bike based on the smart bike?
Yeah, exactly. So our advanced development group Forward took the research that Mark had been working on and decided to create kind of a future envelope of what it could possibly be. So we developed the Forward Alpha. It's the first product to come out of Forward, and this bike incorporates the Aero technology, like the air stick that Mark did, and all the other sensors, but we've also integrated our own console as we see it could potentially be in the future. And because we were making such good aerodynamic headway with providing a real-time CDA, we decided to package this as an Aero concept bike. So not only did we look at that technology, but we looked at what could possibly come next in the world for an Aero bike. So we discussed disc brakes, and as we know, disc brakes are coming soon, and probably completely. So we incorporated how we saw aerodynamic solutions to disc brakes, embedding them directly in the fork and in the chainstay as well. We also looked at, traditionally Aero bikes can be a little less comfortable than, say, a classic spike. So we looked at how we could possibly add some sort of element of comfort to the bike. So what we did, or the engineers and designers came up with, was actually lowering the seat post connection point a little lower at the back, and that allows more flex on the seat post. And then the seat post itself is actually floating in the top two, and this is an elastomeric bumper that is thin on the sides, which means you won't lose a lot of power in pedaling, but front to back allows more movement, so that generates a little bit more comfort. The density of that elastomeric bumper could also be changed, potentially, to kind of give different ride characteristics as you see fit, or as the roads potentially change, regarding what kind of ride you'll be doing today. One of the other aspects we really looked at is the concept of an actual handlebar. Right now, the concept of calling it a handlebar we found to be a little dated, because that dates back to it being made out of metal and bent. Now it's all composite, it's carbon, it doesn't need to be round. What you need is hand positions. You don't need a bar. You need a cockpit, you need a control center. You don't need tape. Tape was great for wrapping around a round surface, but really you need hand positions that are fine-tuned to your hands. So we did ergonomic explorations of how we could potentially make more comfortable, more ergonomic, and more aerodynamic hand positioning. We also then took a step farther and said, well, if it's not a bar, we don't really necessarily need to attach the shifters in the same way. And shifters are now becoming completely electronic, so we could embed buttons. So we have sprinter buttons embedded on the inside here, and we could also embed controls, so you can control the console with your thumbs at the top. And then we envision the shifters as being more of a modular component that's just kind of plugged into the carbon base there, as opposed to being clamped to the bar. So that would remove hardware, it would remove kind of excess housing weight, making it lighter and allowing us to focus more on the ergonomics of the cockpit. And that in essence is kind of our vision of the near future of bikes at Argon18.